Okay, so what we have here is a gelatin plate. It is literally gelatin, like Knox unflavored gelatin mixed with glycerin to make it semi-permanent and very sturdy, but also very flexible and just really a fantastic surface, making it really, really easy to make monotype prints. And so I'm just going to walk you very quickly through the whole process, start to finish, so you can see just how easy it is to make your first monoprint. So I like working with block printing ink. We're going to start just with this. I'm not going to mix a color, just going to keep it simple and use this right out of the jar. I got to mix it up a little bit, get the medium all mixed in. This is the most work of all the process. So we're going to mix this up. And once we got it good and mixed, you can see it's really thick. It's thick like glue, maybe even a little bit thicker. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this palette knife and I'm just gonna spread it around. You just want a really thin coating of the ink. You don't want it to be very thick. So I'll set that to the side. A little bit on my hands, that happens a lot. Then we're gonna take a brayer. We're just gonna roll the ink out, and it's gonna look at first like it won't go on smoothly, but it will. You just have to keep at it, and you put a lot of pressure on, more than you would think, because the ink is so thick. And we're gonna cover the whole plate, even though my piece of paper that I'm gonna work with is not as big as the plate itself. I'll just show you what you're aiming for. All right, once you get it all the way spread, you just want to sort of smooth it out, make sure you got a nice even coating, okay? And that's very thin. You can see my hand through it. So now we're going to take our masks. I have a whole bunch of circles cut out, and we're just going to take our circles and we're going to lay them on here. No particular order. That's the beauty of this, especially when you work in multiple layers. Is as long as you put the masks in a different place the next time around, you end up with something really fantastic looking. These have been used a bunch, so they're a little sticky. That's two. We're gonna put that there. Let's get a couple of little ones out here. Got some little ones. Just lay all of them out. It's real imperfect, you see. You just want to have a little bit of tension so it's not balanced, not too even. And once you get them all laid out, you're almost done. So we're going to have this sort of float across our page. Not fill the page. Okay, so we got that. Keep my hands clean so I don't get ink all over the paper before I print with it. Use a lot of paper towels with gel printing because you get ink on your hands a lot. Then we're going to take our paper. I've just got a square piece of paper here, real basic. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have it float the whole page. So we're gonna go like that, and then you just rub. That's it. And you don't have to rub very hard. In fact, the lighter you rub, the more texture you end up getting. The harder you rub, the more coverage you get. Something that I do sometimes is I'll take just a sheet of scrap paper when I'm printing where it doesn't cover the whole plate, and I'll just do this, and then that way I can rub all the way to the edges and not get ink all over my hands. And so you just rub, 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 rub. I'm pressing down pretty hard. That's totally something you can experiment with how much pressure creates how much ink transfer. Some people use something called a baron, which is a tool specifically for rubbing. You can also use the back of a wooden spoon. That's another printmaking technique you see. I actually have a candle that has a really smooth bottom, and sometimes when I really want to get intense coverage, I'll use that. All right, I think we're good there. Then we're going to pull off our tear sheet. And then pull off our paper. And voila, we've got a print. So what we're going to do is we're going to let that dry a little bit, and then we'll go back and we'll do another print where we lay the stencils out in a different order so that you end up with overlap that happens in a random and layered and textural way. And that's how we're going to build our piece and create something that looks like underwater bubbles.